Good morning. I'm here at Tricklebee Cafe with owner-operator David. Thanks a lot for having me here. Man, we've gotten great response and reviews for all those energy bites you make us over at AlignLife. Yeah, it's really great, man. So I figured, you know what? I need to come on in, get some insider information, tips and tricks on how to make them best. And I figured I'd hand the mic over to you and you can kind of let me know what's the best way to make them.
Sure, yeah. So we have found that these energy bites, they're made with a lot of coconut, shredded coconut, organic dark chocolate, rolled oats, almond butter, vanilla, a little bit of sea salt, honey. And they're easy to make. I've found that the easiest way to make them is in a blender or a food processor. So I would start with the oats, add in the coconut, the chocolate chips, get it all nice and blended, and then stir in the almond butter, vanilla, the liquid, and then it's just a matter of forming them however shape you want. And then chilling them and then wrapping them up, and they're good to go. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, let's get started. And again, I'm Tom Kreinberg with AlignLife Community Outreach Director, and David Gibbons, owner-operator of Tricklebee Cafe on 45th and North.
Okay, so I have here the prepared ingredients for the energy bites. And I did this in our blender here, our commercial blender, and it's really something you can do at your home with your home blender. I've learned that the best way to do it is to prepare it in stages. So I would do the oats and some of the coconut flakes first, blend those together, and possibly even put those in your mixing bowl. Then re-blend some more coconut flakes with the chocolate chips, because you would like them to not be too ground down or melted, but enough so that they're evenly distributed and that you can form them in your hands into a nice round ball. So it's a very simple recipe. This has oats, coconut flakes, dark chocolate chips. That all goes in the blender with the flaxseed. That's really important. And then the liquid ingredients would be the almond butter, the honey, and the vanilla. So I'm actually going to add one more cup of almond butter to this mix, and then we'll start mixing them up and see if we've got our ratio right. This recipe also it's all raw, so the ingredients are vegan and they're raw, so it's very healthy. If people are gluten-free or really sensitive to gluten or celiac, you can buy certified gluten-free rolled oats, and you could use those, and that would make this recipe entirely gluten-free as well. Great, so I've mixed it all up with this big spoon in the bowl, and now I'm mixing by hand, and I think we've got the texture just right. But if, for instance, you found that it was too dry, see how I'm able to squeeze it and it holds together really nicely as its own ball. If it wasn't doing that, if it was crumbly, first off, you want to make sure that everything was ground fine enough. If there are really big pieces in here, say for the coconut flakes, those are going to stick out. It's going to make it hard to incorporate. So you really do want to blend well the oats and the coconut flakes and the chocolate chips. They don't have to be powder, but they do want to. You do want them to be fine enough that you can bring them all together. But if it's too dry and you're finding that it's too dry, I would say add a little more almond butter, maybe a tablespoon at a time, and then honey to kind of balance out the almond butter. So I would say, yeah, a tablespoon of almond butter, maybe a teaspoon at a time of the honey, and then keep mixing until it holds together. So I'm just going to start rolling these together, and it's pretty easy. Yep. I kind of squeeze them and make sure that they're together, and then you just go right here on the parchment. These will be chilled for about 30 minutes after they're all, after this tray is all filled up, and then they'll be ready to package up or to enjoy.
Good morning, I'm Tom Kreinberg, the Community Outreach Director for AlignLife, and everyone has loved our energy bites in the office. So I decided, you know what, I need to go visit Tricklebee and see how they were made. So David Gibbons, he showed me how they were made. We made them together, And now I'm sitting with Christy Melby Gibbons, the executive director of Triple B here on 45th and North. And I love their mission. It really matches well with our AlignLife mission and health missions who we support. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass the mic over to her and she's gonna explain a little what she does.
Yeah, so hello. We believe at Triple B Cafe that everybody deserves healthy, affordable food. And so to the best of our ability, we get things locally. There are farms within a 30-mile radius that we get food from. Some of it is donated, some of it we purchase at fair market values. And we make everything fresh in the kitchen every day. So no matter who you are or where you're from or how much money you have, you can come and get a fresh meal with healthy ingredients, and the love is put into it, and people are delighted when they walk through the door. Yeah,
really great.
It's awesome.
Now tell me a little bit about the One World Everyone Eats.
Yes, so we're part of a network of cafes called One World Everybody Eats. There are 60 cafes all over the US that operate with this model of healthy food in areas that need it. The pay what you can model is one of the main tenets. So there might be a suggested price range for the meal, but even if someone came in with nothing, they could still get the meal. And sometimes people volunteer in exchange for their meals. Yeah, it's beautiful. And we have a community table, a large table where people can gather either in groups from work or with neighbors, or they can come in alone and end up sitting next to strangers and talking and forming community. So it's
Well,
lovely.
if you've got a minute, you've got to come visit Christy
Yeah.
and David Melby Gibbons here on 45th and North, Triple B Cafe. And again, this is Tom with AlignLife, and I hope you have a splendid day.